Alright my friends, today we're going to do some fun powder coating on the Evo. So it's supposed to snow here next week for like a week straight. Even though the Golf R is all-wheel drive, it has summer tires on it, so I'm trying to alleviate some of the stuff that I need to do at the shop now before it snows, before I just kind of kick it at the house and only work on the Subaru. Subaru's making great progress. My goal for that car is to get it running within the next 60 days, which I think we can do. Like I said in the last video, there's definitely stuff we have to order, but I'm not going to hyper-focus on that today. Today's the Evo day. So the color that we're going to be powder coating a lot of this stuff, well, the stuff we're powder coating today is the valve cover, the Brembos, and I think that's it. And then if we have time, I'm going to get those rear knuckles. I'm going to try to get them swapped out so that way we can get the new ones on, get the e-brakes reassembled, which is going to completely suck. And from there, keep going. The coilover show up tomorrow. The dual fuel pump hanger shows up tomorrow with our single wall barrel 450, as well as the timing components for the 4G63. So, and I forgot the 4G63 spring compressor tool at the house. I was going to do valve or oil seals today too, but it's whatever. So you can't really see it, but this is the color that we are going to be doing. I actually think I have it down here in the cabinet. Aha, that color right there. So it's like Ford Focus RS Blue. I don't know, it just seemed like a really cool color to be able to do, and I also have a bag of clear coat as well as a whole bunch of other colors down there like gold, red, orange, you name it, I probably have it down there. So let's just get this going. Like, I already have our valve cover prepped, so I've got masking tape on all the areas we don't want powder coat to get into, except for this, which I don't think will be a huge problem. I've also got plugs and everything that needs plugs in it. The valve cover is prepped and ready to go. After we get this powder coated, I do need to bring it back to the house to be able to get the breather fittings put in, because I've got these Dash 6 AN breather fittings, and I need to rivet back in the baffles that go on the underside of this, because I did drill them out to be able to get like all the sand out from when we sandblasted this. So if any of you guys do want to powder coat, I will link this stuff down below in the description. You can totally powder coat at home. I powder coat at home using a toaster oven and a powder coating gun. So this is the Eastwood one I have here at the shop. I have a Harbor Freight one at the house. I'll link them both down below. This one does seem to work a little bit better than the Harbor Freight one does, but I've had pretty good results with the Harbor Freight powder coating gun as well. You are going to want a respirator or a face mask because you don't want to be breathing in that powder coat stuff. It is not friendly to your lungs, so make sure you have some type of, like, whether it's like an N95 mask or that. Don't wear like a COVID mask or something like that, because that is not going to do you justice or your lungs. And then you're just going to need a standard oven or a toaster oven, whatever you have. So let's get powder coating. So, dude, that blue's gonna come out looking so good. I'm so excited for it. So the way the powder coating works is there's that ground cable right there, and you ground out the part, and what that does is it negatively charges the part, and then the gun itself positively charges the powder that comes out, and then it sticks to it, and then you throw it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on what powder you're using. I believe I got this from Prismatic Powders. That's where I get all my powder. So I'll link that color down below, as well as just their website if you guys want to snag anything like that. But dude, I'm so excited to see how that looks. It's gonna look so good with the color of the car. I'm gonna have to dust the car off so much after we're done powder coating and sandblasting, because there's just, you guys can see it, there's just like dust everywhere. Oof. Oh my god, dude, there's so much powder coat on the camera. So I just pulled the valve cover out of the oven. It looks so freaking good, and it's just gonna look better after I put the clear coat on it. I'm not gonna put the clear coat on it until we go to, we have everything else powder coated blue, so that way I don't have to clean out the gun multiple times whenever we swap between clear coat and the blue, clear coat and the blue. But this looks actually phenomenal. This looks way better than I was expecting. It's gonna look even better once it's clear coated. Dude, look at that. That is literally like Ford Focus RS Blue. That's like the closest I could get to the color. Super happy with that. So once we put the clear coat on there, I lost a plug. That plug fall out? Okay, well, I seem to have lost a plug for right there. No big deal. But dude, that looks so freaking good. I'm so happy with the result on that. So now I need to, while this cools, I'm not going to touch this till it cools. We'll clear coat it here in a little bit. I got pretty good coverage too. There's a couple small spots in there that I can see that I missed, but once the valve cover, the coil pack covers on there, I'm not too worried about the inside of this because I'm not going to see it. No one's going to see it in those little tiny areas right there. It's not worth it to try to spray more powder in there and have it clump up, and then you just get these massive clumps of powder coat. Even the area that got like all clumpy disappeared as well too. That looks friggin' beautiful, you guys. So this is gonna cool. We're gonna get the Brembos prep. What entails in prepping these Brembos is I need to go through all these. I still have one more of these case halves in the sandblaster I need to finish, but with all of these guys I need to go through and mask off all of the ports for where the pistons sit in these. Then after all those are masked, I gotta bolt these case halves together, get them hung up on the rack, and then we can powder coat these guys. So let me go through and start prepping all these. So ran into a small issue with the Brembos that I had to address. All the threads were like caked with mud. So being ran through the sandblaster and then ran through the parts washer, I didn't get all the sand out when I ran them through both of them. So it just made a mess of mud inside of all the threads. So I had to sit there with a brake clean, work the bolts in and out to be able to get all the sand out of there. Finally got them all out. Got one coat of the blue on one of the front Brembos right now, just to be able to like knock it out. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do all of these today with the clear coat, but we're gonna get damn near as far as we can, just so that way I can maximize how much time we're spending at the shop today, because the next couple weeks are going to be like solely devoted to the Subaru and just stockpiling Evo parts until like we have enough stuff for the Evo to like start doing a lot to it all at once. I would still like to get the suspension on here, so I'm probably going to make 1 or 2 more trips out here to the shop in the next like couple of weeks. The whole side of the Evo is blue, just to be able to get it as a rolling chassis. Dude, there's so much blue powder coat everywhere that I'm gonna have to blow the shop out with like some compressed air after I'm done here. It just makes such a mess. So I got the other Brembo in the oven right now. We'll take a peek at it when it comes out and see what it looks like. Well, I'm just trying to move on from powder coating the blue to the clear coat, and my impatient ass decided to try and rush things, so now I'm gonna Scotch-Brite that, re-powder coat that after it cools a little bit more. Note to self, don't touch hot powder coat, Tanner. Why would you do this to yourself? Literally just creating more work. It's on both sides and the bottom. Great. Great way to go, dude. Way to go. So now I'm just hanging up the calipers over here to cool down, so that way I don't mess with them or touch them. Just putting them on these hooks and letting them sit here. So I've got the mess up one in the oven now after Scotch-Briting it, just re-powder coated it, threw it in there. I do really like this color. I think it's coming out like perfectly blue for what I want on the car. So now we're ready to jump over to the clear coat. I have one more front that I still need to powder coat, but like I said, it's still in the sandblaster and it's like halfway done, and I didn't bring my headphones and I don't want to listen to the air compressor go for hours and hours and hours on end. Dude, it's so blue. There's just blue everywhere. I'm gonna have to clean up in here after I'm done powder coating tonight. So now we're jumping over to the clear coat. So the clear is literally just like a white powder. So we're gonna get this sprayed on the valve cover first, because the valve cover is coming home with me, so that way I can get those fittings pressed in and get the baffling riveted back in on this thing. So let's start spraying some clear coat. So I don't remember what kind of clear coat that I bought. I think it's like a translucent textured one. That's dumb of me to say, clear coat being translucent. Clear coat is translucent, but I think it's like a textured one, because everything I'm clear coating is getting like a slight texture to it, which I'm actually not against. I kind of like it. So here's what the valve cover looks like with the clear coat on it. I actually really like this color. I think it's going to go really well with the black in the engine bay. It's just going to be small accents like the valve cover, maybe a couple things. I was going to do like a couple more things in the engine bay powder coated, but I think I'm going to do all those black. So the only thing that's blue in there is this valve cover and the Brembos. Maybe we'll do some other small stuff here and there. I've got these two cooling. This is the one that I messed up on, and you can kind of see just a speck of dirt still on there. It's just not worth my time to go through there and fully sandblast this again and repowder coat it, so I'm just fine with that. The clear coat will help hide a little bit more of that. I was thinking like intake manifold, maybe we'll powder coat that black, coolant tube black, all these other little accents for the engine bay black. We're gonna get new studs for all of the exhaust ports on here. Ooh, you looking spicy. You're about ready to come out. I feel like this video has been a little bit all over the place, so we're gonna come back out here on Wednesday once I bring the coilovers, the fuel pump, and some other stuff, just because I don't want an entire video dedicated to just powder coating on the Evo. Powder coating's powder coating. You powder coat. But let me show you the results. I still have one more caliper, so when we come back on Wednesday, I'm gonna sandblast that last caliper, get it powder coated, get the radium fuel pump hanger in, and the coilovers on, and then we'll try to mess with these hubs if we have time. But let me show you like where we're at so far. So both of the rears are done. They look absolutely beautiful. I'm super happy I went with a color this time aside from like a neutral color, because normally I do like black, silver, boring non-color. They're shades. Normally I do shades, so I'm really glad that I actually did a color this time. I need to get some Brembo decals for these. I have the rebuild kit for the rear. I need to get one for the fronts still. The ones that I ordered are just like on super back order, but I have one of the front calipers done. The gloss on this one came out absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm so happy about this. So let's swing back down to the house, go rebuild our valve cover, and then when we come back on Wednesday, we'll drop that off as well. So it's the next day for me. I'm jumping a little bit around all over the place right now because I'm like waiting on things for the Subaru, waiting on things for the Evo, and they're coming in at like, the shipping delays right now are wild, but we have our radium fuel pump hanger here, so we're gonna get that installed today. Now, one problem that I can already potentially see with this is I don't know if they gave me a fuel filter sock, which I kind of need. But let's get the pump in the hanger. So Radium used to pre-install all of the pumps into the hanger for you. They don't do that anymore, so we got to do this real quick. Alright, you guys, we're back at the shop. So I have the radium fuel pump, the BC coilovers. I got the press for the shop and some other stuff. On the way over here, the Volkswagen was acting up, throwing a check engine light. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm gonna get it towed back because I can't drive it right now. I don't have a code reader for that thing. So fun times. My first experience with Volkswagen check engine lights. Yay. Absolute yay. So much fun. So with that, I'll figure that out tomorrow. Melanie's gonna meet me at the shop when she gets off work. I don't like, when I was driving it, all of a sudden it was like loss of power, stuttering, misfiring. I don't know what the hell it's doing. I literally put 1,000 miles on that car and I haven't done anything to it. So I really hope it's not fucked. If it's fucked, then I'm fucked. Not gonna worry about it. Let's work on the Evo today. So we're gonna go ahead and get the rest of this fuel pump assembly ready to be dropped in. I've got the fuel level sensor here. I've got a brand new gasket. I've got the instructions printed off and I brought them with me. So let me get this fuel pump hanger on first. We'll get it wired in. We'll get this new gasket on, get this thing dropped into the fuel tank with the sock. I need to put the sock on the fuel pump still. I have that with me in one of these boxes. Ah, right there. So let's get this assembled, get it thrown in the car. Well, getting the fuel pump in is definitely not going to work today. Two of these studs here, let me turn on my little light. Two of the studs on the fuel pump guy are broken, so I'm gonna have to replace those. I also don't have any nuts for that. This is, dude, this car is just a hot mess of crap every single time. So we're gonna jump ahead. We're gonna go ahead and toss these BC coilovers on the car. I'm gonna go ahead and start up here with the fronts. So I need to get the transfer case right there just supported with a jack, so that way I can take the weight off of this guy here to get those coilovers out. We're gonna get those T-ins out, get them set aside. I'm gonna toss those in the trash later. We're gonna get the new BCs put in here, and then I'm gonna try to get that tie rod and bolted back up to the knuckle. I'm gonna get the knuckle like temporarily put in here as well. Try to get that in here, break that guy off, and then maybe try on these. I don't know, we'll see what the future holds for us. So let's get these old T-ins out and these new ones in. One out. And two. Side. Some nice spanners. Garbage. Garbage. I'm not going to do any adjusting to these quite yet until they're on the car. So for now, we're just gonna get these installed on there, and then after we actually have the engine and everything in there, we'll go through and we'll actually set our height on these, because I don't know what they're gonna be at right now, and I don't know where the car's gonna sit, so we'll do that after we get everything reassembled, the car's back on the ground. So let's get these new ones put in. First front, going in. Man, some nice fresh coilovers for the Evo. That's what I'm talking about right there. And in. So, like I said, I don't want to change any of these height adjustments yet, but those are rad. Rad, dude. Looking sick. New coilovers. Dude, they look so good in here too. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really bummed that I think the Golf blew up. That makes me sad. All right, let's grab a rotor. They clear the coilover. Got a nice looking rotor behind there. I know these clear Brembos also. How's fitment? Dude, fitment's like fucking flush as hell. Dude, these look good. Yo, Evo. Looking good, baby. Yo, look at that. Those wheels fit like absolutely perfect. Look at like fitment too. Wheel's a little bit turned right now, but they like sit perfectly flush with the fender. We got a nice big rotor behind there, some good BCs. Hell yeah, we almost have like a well, we almost have all the things to make it a rolling chassis. So I think I'm gonna jump back here and start trying to fight with these rears to get these rear hubs off. So I'm just gonna try to pull the axle out. Let me jump on this and fight with this for the however long it's gonna take me. So I managed to get the passenger or the driver rear reassembled. So we've got the brand new wheel hub in there, wheel bearing, not wheel hub, wheel bearing in there. The e-brakes reassembled on this side. I just scheduled the tow for the Volkswagen. I can't drive it home. I don't know what's going on with it. I was talking to a couple people in the Discord. They were saying it could be the high pressure fuel pump. I'd rather just tow it than try to drive it back, because right now it's just throwing an absolute fit trying to drive it. So tow truck's on the way. We'll get it towed, we'll bring it back to the house. Melanie was nice enough to be the savior and come pick me up from here after the tow truck is here, because the tow truck won't take me with this. So I have a small helping hand to help me with this other e-brake while I get that side done. So let me go tear apart the other side. Let's get the wheel bearing swapped out. Let's try to get that e-brake reassembled tonight. It would be nice if we could just get all the wheel bearings done, so that way we're kind of just done with them, and then we can keep going from there. Over here, we have got the e-brake reassembled. We've got the wheel bearing put on. At this point, I'm gonna get the suspension reconnected on here. That's going to be all of the control arm bolts that I took off that I didn't need to. I'm gonna get the sway bar put back up on there, get the axle nut put back on. I need to bring some cotter pins over here next time I'm here, which at this point, I don't know when that's going to be with the Volkswagen. Our tow truck got pushed out even more, so it was supposed to be, what, like an hour? Yeah. And now it's 2 to 3 hours, so I mean, while we're here, might as well utilize the time while we can and try to make the best of it. Into the thick of it. Yep. Ugh.
Ugh.
So I'm gonna get these control arms bolted back on. We're gonna get the rear coilovers put back in the car. After that, we can get the rear Brembos rebuilt. And if I have the Brembo bolts here, we can actually get those put on the rears with the brake pads and the brake lines fully reassembled. So that way we're just really focusing on the front at that point. So let's knock this out. Let's do some more stuff. So we've got all of our new hubs on the Evo, or wheel bearings on the Evo. We've got one wheel test fit on there. Over here, I'm having a weird issue with the e-brake though. I've reassembled and disassembled the C-brake a couple times, and I can't get the rotor to go over the e-brake for some reason. So I'm gonna have to do a Google to figure out why it's not going over, but incredible progress on the Evo today. We have all of our coilovers in, all of our new wheel bearings on. We test fit a wheel, everything fits up perfectly. So at this point, it's almost a rolling chassis. I just need to get some tires for these wheels and we can technically put the car back on the ground. These I still have to bring back over to the house as the rollers for the STI, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Our tow truck driver is about to show up for the Golf, so I'm gonna go limp that thing out to the front. So I don't know what's going on with this thing right now, but I was driving it earlier and like out of nowhere, I was just chilling at like 2K RPM, cruising. And Gunther just threw a fit. The EPC light came on, car started like bogging, no power, no response, died at a light, continued to stutter anything above like 3K RPM. I was able to limp it to the shop, thankfully. So now we just wait for this tow truck to get here to bring this thing home. Gunther's all loaded up back there on the trailer. Yeah, Gunther's all loaded up. He's meeting us back at the house. We didn't have a flatbed, so we just have a standard tow truck with the dollies on the front wheels. Totally works. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have to go to the auto parts store, kidnap Melanie's GTI that we're in right now. Living life to the fullest. And then I think I'm just gonna go buy like a code reader, some spark plugs, do an oil change, like all maintenance that needs to be done. It was all serviced when I bought the car though, so I wouldn't imagine there'd be any major problems with it. Like I swear in my mind, it's gotta be something stupid. I don't know, we'll find out, we'll find out. Poor Gunther, you're doing great, man. You look very sad, but you're doing great, Gunther. So we made it back down. The Golf made it. Well, Gunther, we'll call him Gunther because that is his name. Gunther made it on the tow down, no problem. Tomorrow, I guess Gunther just got jealous. He wanted to be in some videos. So I guess tomorrow I'm tearing into the Golf to see what the hell the problem is. I'm gonna go buy a code reader, some spark plugs, oil, pretty much everything to do all the maintenance on that Golf to see if something was overlooked, not done at the dealer. I have all the service records, so it shows everything was done. But then again, we don't know how much we can actually trust dealers when it comes to that stuff. Like, you guys have seen cars that I bought from the dealers in the past, and I dig into them and find all these things they said they did that they never did do. So with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. I'm gonna push out an STI video here in the next day and a half or so. This video should be going out on Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you guys get all the presents you've ever wanted, all the car parts you could ever imagine, and all the things you could dream of. So that's really all I got for you guys on this one. Great progress on the Evo today. We'll be jumping back on our Subaru here after we figure out what the hell's going on with the Golf. So if you guys like the video, you know what to go. Hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. Colors of the day today are both red and green for Christmas time. You guys know we gotta do it. So with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies. Woo!